Welcome to Jump School. I'm your host, Ihsaan Ali, aka the StyleJumper. On this podcast, you'll learn a ton of things. We'll talk about style, confidence, etiquette, creativity, and entrepreneurship. Today's episode was brought to you by my new book, Why Style Matters, The Mindset of Dressing Well and How It Impacts Your Life. To get your autographed copy, click the link in the description. Today's guest is a model, content creator, and style blogger. The creative think tank himself with millions of views, Trey Bryant. Episode 24. The following is an excerpt from Instagram Live. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm great, man. I'm great. I am, feeling good, shook off all the drama from yesterday and leading up to yesterday. So I'm feeling great, man,
I know, right? That America is crazy right now. That's all I'm gonna say. America is crazy.
It is, but you know what, man? The cool thing, bro, is this. It's conversations like this that's going to help us grow, at least for the culture, right?
Right.
So we can appreciate each other and respect each other, and show people how it's done. That maybe that's what we just got to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start the show off, if you don't mind, guys, gals, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Jump School podcast. This is your boy Ihsaan, the StyleJumper, and tonight I got a millennial genius when it comes to style. He's someone I've been watching for a minute now, and I just love the way he puts things together. And I'm excited about this conversation because, quite honestly, millennials get a bad rap when it comes to all these different things. I don't know why. They've been kind of tasked with that burden of, millennials don't work hard. Millennials like to do things their own way. Millennials, don't believe in the traditional style of clothes. All these different, misinformation and misquoted things about millennials. So I wanted to set that to rest and invite Trey to the show because he has amazing style. I love his personality. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Trey Bryant. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. What's going on, everybody? That was a phenomenal introduction. I appreciate that, Ihsaan, for sure. My name is Trey Bryant. My brand, I'm a content creator for men's fashion and lifestyle. I talk about some of my faith too. I'm here on Instagram, so check out my page if you're looking for some inspiring, some entertaining and informative content for men. Also, I think it help women. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So, if you want to get your man something nice, check out my page for sure. And I'm also on YouTube. I talk about a number of different subjects on there, such as hair, beard, men care, and, different outfits, ideas, and kind of just breaking down advice on there. And on TikTok, I post a lot of entertaining content. I think TikTok is it's definitely like an entertaining platform to be able to put information in a kind of a fun way, in a short form content way. But just pretty much trying to push the narrative forward just for men to be taking care of themselves, feel more confident, feel comfortable in their overall aesthetic.
That's what's up, Trey. So let's start with the beginning, man. Tell everybody where you're from. Where do you get the genes from? Where does these come from?
Hey, man, I am from the South. I know you're up there in the North, but I am from the South, from here in good old Georgia. I'm from Augusta, Georgia. Okay. And, that's what y'all know. That's where James Brown is from, right?
You already know.
Hey, okay. That's we got some soul here in Augusta. Just want to let y'all know that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out. I'm born and raised in South Carolina, actually.
Really?
Oh, yeah, man. So I've been in Augusta plenty of times. Got family out there.
Nice.
But yeah, so Augusta, Georgia. Shout out to the good brother James Brown, Mr. Dynamite himself, actually definitely an influence of mine. So tell us a little bit about your influences growing up. What, in Augusta, what was that like growing up as a young man, and some of your style influences from there?
I think at first we went through a few different things. I feel like being in the South, you're kind of late to the style wing, a little bit. So I think like when I was in middle school, I kind of started. Obviously, we were still wearing the baggy clothes. So just for anybody who doesn't know my age, I'm 20. I'll be 27 next week. So back when I was in middle school, that had to be like like 2005 or 2006 or something like that. And so we were still wearing the baggy clothes then. So I think heavily then when you're a teenager, your influences are obviously like rap music. So when we seen, being at that age and being in Georgia, Atlanta rap was like crazy. So we definitely got influenced by, the baggy clothes, the clothes that Ludacris was wearing, the Franchise Boys. And so, we definitely, everybody wanted to have a big old white tee.
Yep.
And it wasn't till I got in high school, obviously because, rap just influenced so much. And, Jay-Z had come out with Rockaware, and then we had Echo. And so for Christmas in 2009, my dad got me a sterling silver chain with a cross on it. And then he got me an Echo shirt, a Rockaware shirt, and I had a whole jabot. I had a whole jabot outfit, with the jabot where you had the t-shirt and you had the pants
Yes,
that had the little stripes that matched it.
Yep,
and that was really when I started kind of like really getting into style. And I think you could even pretty much even say like content creation at that point, because as soon as I had that jabot outfit for Christmas, I wanted to go and post it on MySpace.
all day long.
That's like where it started at. And so
Okay.
like I was like, okay, cool, I want to post this on MySpace, and I want to show off basically my my Christmas outfit. And obviously, and then you got your Letterman jacket. And I think that my influences started out from rap music, but then I had a friend who he wore polo. He was big into Ralph Lauren at a young age. And he was a little bit older than me. And he wore like Ralph Lauren. He wore his jeans a little bit more so fitted at the time. And when we were in high school, everybody would be like, "Oh, he's the preppy guy. He's the preppy guy. Like, why you dressed like that?" And I was like, well, I kind of like how he dressed, but it's not really, how can I say it? It's not something that was appealing at the time for a young guy, but it was a little bit more grown. And then as time passed, that's when I started to really get into the whole like Zac Efron look. So, the whole Disney Channel, the fitted jeans, the polos, the tight shirts, and everything like that. I started playing football and basketball, and I started getting some muscles on me. And so I was like, well, why not? Like, I got a job at Hollister. And so that's when I was able to get some of the, fitted clothes and stuff like that. And that kind of had an influence on me for a little while. But I think it was like more or less like whatever, like I was kind of going with what the trendy times were. I would say that I was always a trendy dresser.
Okay.
So to speak.
Okay. So what did you learn from Hollister?
I learned when I worked at Hollister that their clothes are really tight. And to be quite frankly honest, I think that their demographic I learned that it wasn't really necessary for African Americans, because the pants didn't necessarily fit, like, us brothers, we got big thighs.
Yeah.
So, I didn't feel like it necessarily really fit like my body type a little bit. The shirts were okay, but I just felt like the whole, like, we went through that whole stage of obviously wearing big clothes and then wearing really tight clothes. It was more made it's that beachy type of vibe. And I don't really think that Augusta is like, you can really compare that to the beach.
Yeah. Augusta, a minute from Myrtle Beach. So we, you know what I'm saying? So you got to hit I-20 to get to Myrtle Beach. So I can understand that, growing up in Augusta. When you were young, I kind of sense where you're going to go with this a little bit, but when you were young in Augusta, when did you look in the mirror? I was like, you know what? The boy look kind of good in this. You know what I'm saying? When you felt like, you recognized your steez, your sex appeal, the whole nine.
Man, I would say it's something about, you say you have children, right?
Yeah. My oldest just turned 23 yesterday. Shout out to Michaela. Love you.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, January birthdays. I like that.
Yeah, man.
I would say it's kind of like in that mid stage when you're going from like 7th grade to like ninth and 10th grade.
Okay.
And it's so funny you ask me that, because you like kind of like bringing back like memories for me. So I think it was like I was like kind of like, oh, okay, cool. I was, playing basketball and stuff. And then, I was on my way to high school. And I sort of kind of gotten into, listening to more rap music and everything like that. And I started, working out a little bit. Like my dad had like an at-home gym. And I got into the 9th grade and I was a freshman in high school. And on the first day of school, I walked through, and obviously, when you're young, you're wearing your freshest outfit that you had, that you got compliments on, and everybody said you look nice then. So that was what I wore on the first day. So I'm walking down the hallway, and I just see like eyes look at me in the hallway. I'm kept catching eye contact, and then I'm at the lunch table at lunch period time, and then one of my friends from middle school was like, "Hey, bro, do you know her, or do you know this girl?" And I'm like, "No, I don't know." And they're like, "Man, they're like looking at you like they know you or something like that." And I was like, "Really?
What?
Me?
Check me out."
Me, for real?"
Yeah.
So, that kind of went through the course of the whole day. And when I went home that night, I was like, "Yo, I'm out here. I'm out here in school, like they want me, And so it was a special feeling. And one of the things I started seeing some of the guys who were bigger athletes that were juniors and seniors in school, and they had earrings.
Okay.
And so I really wanted to get earrings too, because I felt like that was like the guys that were the most popular in school. And so, the first thing, we do something lame instead of actually really getting our ears pierced. And I go and get magnets.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Magnet earrings. You did that too?
I did. Because my mom wasn't trying to hear that, but she was like, "No, you can get no earrings."
To this day, my dad will call it, "Oh, you want to be old pretty Ricky boy, don't you?" I was like, because I want earrings.
Oh man, yeah. That's where we come from. Growing up in the South, it just depends upon the era of the parent. That's just one thing. Going outside of the frame of what our parents want us to look like and be, they're gonna be like, "Oh, you're not wearing that." Yeah, I'm not letting you get your ears pierced, man. My mom was so mad when I got my ears pierced. It's crazy.
Man, look, I started finessing them. So I went to Walmart after work, after like my first job one day, and I got my left. And so my mom was like, "Okay, you got your left. You we told you not to do that, but you went and did it. That's fine." And so I waited like a year until I was a junior. At the end of my junior year, I went and got the right.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Trey, what are you doing? What are you doing? We went from here. You can't get no job with the earrings. You got to take them out for your job." I'm like, "Look, like how you going to college?" I'm like, "What's wrong with going to college and having earrings?"
Exactly. Yeah, like you got like a face tattoo. You got some sleeves, the earrings. I think they think that's like the starting point. The earrings and everything else is like a snowball effect.
It was. When I turned 18, I did start getting tattoos after that.
Same. Same, bro. Same. That's funny. So, outside of Hollister, when did you kind of really start getting into, transition from streetwear into more casual formal wear, and what was that journey for you?
It was more so in college. College had the biggest influence on me because I went to an HBCU, Johnson C. Smith, at first. And when I went there, if anybody has went to an HBCU, been to an HBCU, and has a friends that went there, when you go there, you are wearing your best fit every day of the week.
Every day.
You're looking to be seen when you go into class on campus. If they have an event, you're looking to put on your best fit. And so if any of y'all ever go to any of my Facebook pages, you'll see that and then it was kind of funny because that's when Instagram started really popping at the same time.
Okay.
And so, it's in Charlotte. So in Charlotte, that's when I started putting on my best fit to class. I'd be like, "Hey bro, snap a picture of me." And I would see like how some of the Greeks dressed on campus. I would see like obviously how some of the older people on campus. And when you're a freshman, obviously you don't want to look like a freshman. You want to look like you're older. You want the juniors and the senior girls to be like, "Oh, what's your name?" You want to seem cool. And for me, when I seen that's what they appealed to, I definitely wanted to wear that even more so. So I was really I was like, all right, let me start wearing this to get attention more. And that's what really kind of got my influence and style a little bit. And, just kind of dressing up and wearing suits. That transferred over when I transferred to Kennesaw. When I went to Kennesaw, that was more so the influence of, I joined a modeling organization that truly taught us how to dress. And when I got into the organization, you would think that the organization is just going to teach you how to model, but it was so much further than that, because it really taught us we had basically had a practice where, let's say on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, we have to be there, and they have a concept. We had this group meeting where they dropped in all the concepts. So let's say you have to pull an outfit out of your closet with nothing but using camo print. And everybody came to practice with some type of outfit they put together with camo print because that was a concept. And it really forced us to really think about like our closet, to utilize our closet, because I was like, oh, I would have never really put this together had I not had this inspiration of this concept. And they had that for and so obviously once you're thinking about you're going to practice 5-7 days a week at school, preparing for a fashion show and learning, you're like, whoa, you put together several different outfits with different concepts and you didn't even know that you had this in your closet. And that's what made me really start to like, wow, I could really wear this tie with this shirt. I could wear this cardigan with this. I could wear this blazer. And it really brought out that confidence because when you going from HBCU to PWI, it's a little bit of a different vibe because everybody's wearing sweats to class. Everybody's not necessarily caring that much about their best outfit. If you are wearing your best outfit, you will get noticed, but it's not so much attention on that. And for me, it kind of once I got to the point where I was really wearing that stuff and I learned how to utilize my closet more, I felt buku more confident in it. That's when I was like looking, and they ended up actually telling us in practice about Instagram pages that we could follow that would help us, like give us ideas for outfits. And that's when I started to kind of click in my mind, I was a sophomore at the time, it started to click. And I was like, oh, this is what I'm looking for. This makes sense. I enjoy this. And then from there, I think that's kind of where the interest kind of went deeper into.
Okay. So when you talk about, you're in college and you're switching up the game, you started, getting suited and booted, and you talked about MySpace and Instagram. What was your biggest fear about going on Instagram, like making that transition? It's a new platform, right? What was your biggest fear about, getting stuff out on Instagram, especially when you're comparing it to people that you think that have really, really nice pages?
Well, I think at first, when I first got on Instagram, I wasn't necessarily, when I very first got on there in 2012, I wasn't looking at anybody else's page for real. Like, I think it was just more like just happy to post. Like just happy to post, like I wasn't, because when it came to MySpace, I didn't actually run my own MySpace because my parents wouldn't let me actually have a MySpace. I was sneaking on there and I would just send like a girl that I liked or one of my, female friends at the time, I would send them over and be like, hey, can you post this picture on my MySpace and put it together for me? And, they would do that. But, Instagram, when actually became popular, I was already on Facebook. And I've kind of posted a little bit on Facebook, but Instagram was something different and new. So I think it was kind of like a warm feeling of, okay, I can post on here and it's just something cool and new and nobody's really on it like that. And so I didn't really pay attention to other people's pages. I just kind of like wanted to put together and kind of find my own thing. And I think a lot of times that's kind of like, for me, I think I've always looked at things as a clean aesthetic. I think when I think about like, when I first made my logo, for my Trey Bryant Lifestyle TV, one of the things when the guy was like making the logo, he was like, what is the vibe that you're going for? I've always thought about like Tom Ford. I've always thought about like that black and white crisp vision of just clean, like clean and luxury look. Like when you look at something, it just looks nice, it looks clean, and it just attracts you to it. And that's what I thought about like as far as like myself. So I'm like, right now I'm taking pictures from an iPhone and I'm trying out new stuff, but I think that it still can appeal to people. As I got older and I did see other people's pages, then I saw, okay, I could implement this. I could do this. I could actually do a photo shoot. And I actually didn't do my first photo shoot, like for real until I didn't do my first photo shoot until I think I was about a senior in college.
Wow. So what year was that?
I was 22. So I think that was 2015. 2015, I think I did my first photo shoot, yeah.
All right. So speaking of your first photo shoot, who take your pictures, bruh?
Man, I make it work a lot of different ways. I work with a number of different photographers. The first guy who I actually shot with in 2015, his name is Caleb Seals. He took that was a guy who I worked with to help me pretty much start my brand with just with crispy pictures, great videos for YouTube. It was like him, and that we're actually really good friends, and that's just my guy. He really helped me out a lot. Since when he had to transition, because he actually has a business where he does that full time, and I started to kind of branch out and find other photographers, and I started working with a guy named Ihsaan, the creator, and he's really good with video. He started taking my pictures for a while. Then as of late, I've been working with, this is a lot. I work with the different people, some people who I've reached out to and some people who have reached out to me and who I've created rapport with. But I always tag them all the time. So if anybody ever like wonders like who takes your pictures, who's doing your videos, even on YouTube, if I haven't, because most of the time, because I see somebody asked, Dwayne, you asked who edits my videos. Most of the time I edit probably all my TikToks. So if it's short form content, it's all me. I'm editing it. Most of my YouTube videos I edit too. But if it's like something that's more cinematic looking, that wasn't me because I didn't shoot it myself. But if it's something that isn't as cinematic, but it's something I normally edit them myself. I am looking for an editor soon because I want to be able to upload more content. So if y'all know anybody who's a good editor that ain't too expensive, let your boy know.
Where you at, Trey, again? So you still in Augusta, or are you?
Oh, I'm in Atlanta. I'm in
Atlanta. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's back up a little bit. What took you to Atlanta?
So when I graduated from school in Augusta, high school, I went to Charlotte for college. But then I had two friends that already went to school at Kennesaw State. And when they were there, I just decided to transfer because you got Hope Scholarship that was in Augusta, which is in Georgia, that is a scholarship that allows you to be able to basically pay for school a little bit more. So if you have a 3.0 GPA or higher. And so I wanted to get that because it was actually expensive to be out of state. So when I came back down here, I had visited Kennesaw a few times to meet some of my friends and kind of develop relationships with people. And so that's what brought me solely back to Atlanta.
Got it. So you're in Atlanta. And when was it where you made the decision that this was going to be something serious for you? You know, when it comes to your brand, what was the kind of trigger for you and the tipping point? And you're like, you know what, I need to take this serious and social media really serious.
When I had kind of was about to graduate from school, and I had kind of done my last fashion show with that organization, I had got to a point where I realized that like there was just a lot of guys that don't know this information. They don't know and especially like, you know, you and I have had this conversation before in the past about like how when you get on YouTube, when you get on Instagram, there's just not a lot of guys who are actively making content about men's fashion, men's lifestyle. What is the lifestyle of a black man? Like the things that we go through when it comes to talking to women, the things that we talk to our boys about, the things that we just talk about, you know, like the game and what we went through in college. And, you know, even as a young adult, nobody's really talking about that to young black men to make better young black men. Even as they grow older. So that really inspired me because I was like, yo, when I get on YouTube, I see Jose Zuniga, I hit Alex Costa, I see, you know, Aaron Marino, but I don't see no black man. I don't see a black man really like in a real way making that same type of content, making that, you know. So I was just like, yo, that can be me. And I wanted to do that. And it took me a while to kind of see that like my passion was just in it, because I didn't know if I really wanted to model. I didn't know if I wanted to be an actor. I didn't know if I wanted to be a sports newscaster, because my major was communications. So I was just like, what direction I want to go, but I knew that I wanted to make content.
Got it. When it comes to your photos, let's kind of get right into like, we're going to do two sections, one on Instagram and one on TikTok. So when it comes to Instagram, do you typically like to go for certain settings or look, you know, or like a colorway? What are the story to be consistent with Trey Bryant? What is those images? What do they look like?
So I normally what I typically like to do is I like to try to get some I like to get some inspo. So if we're just talking about like a simple content creation process, how I start my process is so for instance, like if I see something that I like when I'm scrolling, I like to try to consume as much as fashion content or the aesthetic or kind of whatever. I like to put myself a student of the game. So obviously I follow a lot of the big people, or I follow people from all over the world who do fashion or do something that I just like that I see to do. Even as late, I've kind of really immersed myself in the sneaker and streetwear community just to kind of see if I can take some inspo from it. So once I find my photographer, I'll send them, I'll set it up. I'll say, hey, we're shooting. I want to shoot at this time of day. As of late, I found out that, what I've been trying to switch over to is a more of a natural, but a better aesthetic that just pops. And so it's all about finding like what's the best for you. I realized that shooting at golden hour or in that mid-afternoon to when the sun's about to go down is like perfect for my outfits and perfect for even just my skin with the camera and editing. So, a lot of times I tell photographers that really works out best for me. So let's shoot at that time. Up until then, it's preparation. So whether when I go into a photo shoot, I'm thinking about how much content can I create and how can I use it on each platform. When I used to shoot with E-Man and Caleb, it was more of, okay, cool. So boom, we're going to make sure that I get 5 pictures. I want to make sure I show my outfit because you want to be purposeful with your posts. You want to make sure that obviously like the purpose of my page when you come to it is you want to see high quality of fashion content. Like when people come to your page, they want to know, what do you do? Who are you? Without even looking at your bio, but they just instantly see you and they see outfits. They see, different scenery. And scenery, I think, I don't like a really busy scenery. I like something that matches the aesthetic. So if I'm wearing a suit, I want something that shows city vibes or something that's more luxury, upscale. I'm going to put on some glasses sometimes. I want to show my watch. I want to show details that make you feel like, oh, this is a business look. This is a fashion look. I want to actually bring people it has to match up. If you want people, it's all about creating a vibe, creating the imagery for people to be able to see beyond just like scrolling. And a lot of times people don't necessarily know that like that's what you're seeing on the other side of the camera. Like if you and I were not here sitting here talking today and some people would hear me talking, they would never know really what I sound like or really like, unless they tried to find for it, but really like looking at the other side of the photo is like what perception that you get from it. And I like to create that upscale kind of like clean aesthetic that I shared with you earlier.
So when you're when you're thinking about your photos, do you scout locations? Is that something that you constantly do? That's something that I constantly do. I'm always looking for obscure locations more so than traditional. So what are you looking for when you're having your style inspirations or your photo shoot inspirations?
So typically, like because Atlanta, I try not to exhaust too many locations but I'm always looking when I'm like driving past a lot of different things. So if I'm like driving in the car and I'm like, oh, that looks nice, because I think it, like I was saying earlier, it's thinking about what you're going for. So if you have an eye for what you're going for, or maybe while you're scrolling, you've seen something that's really pretty or nice that would match with an outfit, you have to really put yourself in the game. And like, when you really put yourself in the game, you're constantly thinking about creative ideas. I get most of my creative ideas when I'm on the treadmill at the gym. Like that's where my mind starts going everywhere, because that's how I'm able to try to burn my calories, and get it going. But when I'm constantly driving and I'm going somewhere, just like how, with my girl, we always like, we're driving past and say, that looks like a nice restaurant, or that looks like a nice place to, take a picture at, or you just kind of develop the eye after training for so long.
Would you say you prefer photo or video?
Man, I really like fit pics. I'm not gonna lie. I think I really like fit pics. I'm learning to love video way more because that's obviously what's trending the most right now. And people do like engaging content a little bit more so with video. I think it's like neck and neck, because for a long time I really did like pictures more. But as of late, I think that I really enjoy creating video content. because you can captivate people so much more in the camera. You know, with them looking, you know, from the transitions to you being able to speak, you being able to show different things and examples. If you think about just like back to where, like how we used to go to the movies and sit down and really, you know, look at movies and things of that nature, and you think about the production and everything that goes behind it, that is who we are now. That is who we have, an audience that we can create things for. We have an audience that we can edit. We can see inspiration from movies, from things we see in everyday life, from online, from Instagram, YouTube, and create a vision that we want people to see. And it's honestly pretty cool. I think for me, it's pushed me to learn editing skills even more so on a different playing field. And you have to continue to just learn and do better. And I think that's why, like, I'm able to be successful on TikTok. And that's why I'm able to be successful at Reels, because I'm always thinking about new ideas of how I can teach someone some information. And posting with purpose is like the biggest thing you can do if anybody is trying to be a fashion content creator or content creator at all. Like, if you do have a picture, think about when you take this picture, what you're going to say. Like, how are you going to convey the message to people? Because that's what they're going to connect with. People connect with connection. People are scrolling through their phones. So when they may see some of Ihsaan's posts, they connect with what he's saying. They connect with his outfit, because the way one of my mentors described it to me is, there's so many people in the world that are looking for a home. They're looking for somebody to identify with. You know, so if you come to my page, you may, you know, and I'm just keeping it a band. This may make some people laugh, but when a couple of times when I've gone viral on TikTok and I look in my DMs, I have seen a whole bunch of light-skinned curly head boys saying, bro, teach me how to dress.
Yeah, no doubt. It makes perfect sense. Same thing here. You know, guys with dark skin, bald head, those things make sense because, to your point, they're relating to you. They have that immediate connection. They see themselves in your images and in what you do. So that's a great point. When it comes to, you know, individuals asking, I'm sure you get a ton of questions all the time. Like, what's a question that, you know, that rarely is asked of you that's a jewel? Like, if you was going to really give somebody a jewel, what would that question be and what the answer would be?
So what question would they ask me? That's a really great question that I can answer with a really big gem, right?
Well, a question that, you know, people don't ask that they should be asking you.
Okay.
Fashion and style.
Oh, if someone, so I can do three quick ones. What people don't ask when it comes to dressing, I think that what they don't ask is how can I word? I want to make sure I word this the best way. What store do you think really best fits me? Or what color do you think looks best on me? I get a lot of questions that guys ask, like, hey, like, what do you think about like this? Do you think this shirt looks okay on me? Where do you think that I should be shopping at? Hey, I'm trying to improve my style, you know, or very, very generalized questions. And I would just say to anybody, whether you're reaching out to me, you're reaching out to Ihsaan, you're reaching out to any other fashion content creator, ask a specific question that is tailored to you. When you are asking a question like that, then somebody can answer it more personal and directly for you. So if you know, guys ask me all the time on, like, especially on TikTok, they say, well, can you make some videos for bigger guys? And I'm like, okay, but what do you want me to say? I may make an outfit video, and they were like, well, can you do one for bigger guys? And I'm like, okay, I had to make a video separate from that. And I was like, hey, you know that these clothes, big guys who are bigger can still wear these same clothes. You can still wear these same colors. The rules still apply. You know, you just have to buy clothes that fit you.
Exactly.
You know, it wasn't anything different. It was still generalized. Or still general. So I think that's something that's particular. I think for guys who want to become fashion content creators, the question that they're not asking, most of the time, the general question that I get is, well, hey, how did you get to where you are now? Or how did you do the build? I think the question that guys should ask is where do I start? Or even analyzing themselves of like, what do I need to do? Because a lot of times when guys ask me that and I go look at their page, they don't post. You like, that's like saying, hey, how do I get to the NBA? And you haven't even dribbled the basketball yet.
Yeah.
You have to be in the game in order to learn. And it's, people will never understand until you actually jump in the game. Once you jump in the game, you understand, like, I can have a conversation with you all day about fashion content creation because you're an OG. You know what I'm saying? You've been in the game, so you know what's going on. But if I talk to somebody else, they're like, oh yeah, like, that's cool. I don't know who this person is. I don't know who this person is. You don't know what's going on. You have to jump in it to be able to really create it. Like, you have to know, like, LeBron knows who else he's going up against the next night. He has a scouter report. He knows he knows who's on the court. I know who's posting on Instagram. Like, if you ask me, do I know somebody? Most likely I done seen them already. I'm passed by their page. I done scout it. And I implement, I'm writing ideas down. I'm taking notes because I want to be better at what I do. And that's craft, being a student of the game.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that because there's a guy, I have his books up there. His name's Austin Kleon, and Austin has 3 books. And the first book was called Steal Like an Artist. And I think what's really interesting about that is, even though there's nothing that's our own, right? We take things and we absorb them and then we interpret it from our own perspective. And that's what's really important about, like you said, doing your homework, knowing who's on the court, knowing, like, to your point about LeBron, like, who I'm playing, what are their moves, what type of things I need to do in practice to either beat him or be better or improve. So you're taking all of those things and saying, how can I implement this to me? And it should come out completely different because it's like our eyes, like, no one can see the colors exactly where you see them through your eyes because they're yours. You know what I mean? That's your lens. That's your point of view. You talked a little bit earlier about mentors. What are some really important things, a nugget or two that you were given from a mentor that you take on every day when it comes to your content creating or just life? Like, what's some jewels?
One from one of my mentors. I actually have a content mentor that has really helped me a lot when it comes to business. But he's taught me a lot about 2 things when it comes to when you're actually creating and then with your audience. When it comes to your audience, you have, and I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but you have to post with purpose. You cannot, like, posting with purpose can change the whole factor about what you're doing. Because if you don't have a purpose and you're just throwing something up there, then how can someone connect with that? How can your audience connect with that? How can, like, who are you trying to convey? If you think about even, like, as a business, I think people every day should carry themselves like a business. And that's what I was taught. So if you carry yourself like a business, who are the people you're trying to outreach? Who are the people, like, you and I, we talked about this last year about demographics. We know this guy creates content for this age group of men. We know this, I create content for this age group. Who am I? Like, when I make my content, when I'm on TikTok, my first thought in my content is I'm gonna make this centered around teens. I'm gonna make this centered around teens because teens are the majority of the platform. They're the majority of the majority of who my following is. My following on Instagram is a little bit more mature. And, some of them are younger still, following over from others, but it's more of like the home base. So I'm making content for everybody on there because it's going to apply for everybody. So I'm being mindful of what exactly I'm saying in the video. What am I putting up there on the thumbnail, or, and the same with YouTube. The other thing that I would say is find out what exactly your audience wants. Oftentimes people are too focused on what they don't have, are the followers I'm trying to gain instead of the followers that they have. Engagement, Instagram and social media is an engagement platform. You have to engage. You have to talk. You can't come into a room and expect to make friends and don't talk. So if you're on the platform, ask your audience what they want, or pay attention to, if you don't feel like asking, pay attention to what they're liking, what they're commenting on, what they like to see from you. Just, if you feed the people, feed the people. If you feed the people, they're going to chase you. I read something the other day, is like, people are always stuck on the algorithm, the Instagram algorithm. The algorithm wants you to plainly keep people more on the platform. It's like a businessman. A businessman wants you to keep bringing people back to his business. So if you keep people always liking your posts, engaging with you because of the content that they really like, pay attention to that. And then Instagram's going to reward you by more people seeing and building your following. So if they really like seeing streetwear from you, if they really like seeing suits, if they really like seeing you jumping, style jumper, like, you know what I'm saying, they really like the certain things that you do, they like your lives, then there you go. You keep producing that thing, and you'll grow off of that by you're feeding your audience. I heard Tyler Perry say this in the show, and he was saying that, you know, I super serve my audience because we have a connection going on, because I am a brand. I know what they want, and they know that I'm going to serve them exactly what they want. And that's what being a brand is truly about.
That's good, man. That's good. You know, speaking of TikTok, and we'll switch it up to TikTok, and you've had quite a few viral videos. What's the elements of a great video for TikTok?
You got to be on trend. Well, you have to be on trend. You have to keep up with the trends, and some stuff has to be a reason people are there. So I think that out of the videos, the first video that I had go viral was a beard video. I had a beard video basically talking about the derma roller. And it was at the peak. It was at the peak of the beginning of quarantine last year when I posted it. Didn't know it was going to get a lot of views, but I had just spoke like basically made like, hey, look, I just got this derma roller, and this derma roller is what you need if you want to grow your beard. Went to sleep, posted it just because my mentor was like, you need to be posted on TikTok. And I was like, all right, cool. I need to post on TikTok. And so when I posted, I woke up the next day, it had like 40,000 views. And I was like, what in the God's name? Why, who are these people looking at this video? So I'm going through the comments. I've never gotten 40,000 views on anything. So I was like, what is this? And so I was going through the comments, and I was like, wow, like they're really asking more questions about this. They want more content about this. So I was like, okay. And so that was a little dot in the back of my head. The other videos that, I went viral on were just, there's always a subject matter for everything of who you're trying to catch. So obviously that caught a lot of men's attention. So I got followers from that. The second video that kind of went viral was, I think it was more of like ones with kind of like black men in suits. And, people like to see that, especially, women love to see, a man in a good suit, and other guys like to be like, oh, who are they? You have to catch somebody's attention within the first 3 minutes of them scrolling, because it just has to be a reason to make people stop and continue to watch. And I think that that goes back to when I say
3 minutes, Trey, or 3 seconds?
3 seconds. Sorry, 3 seconds.
I was going to, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 3 minutes, they would have been gone.
All right. You're going to miss them.
Right. In that first 3 seconds, because at that point, we have attention span people have short attention spans. So at that first 3 seconds, you have the person to stop. Then it's a part about keeping them continuing to watch. And because we have a short form content platform where everything is 5, 10, 30 seconds now that you have to grab somebody's attention. Now it's not about like just a cool video anymore. It's like, why am I watching this, and why will I spend 15 seconds watching it? And really what you want is somebody to not only watch it for 15 seconds, but go back and watch it again and again and again, and then share it with the people around them. So shareable content is really, important. So that's why informative content does really well. And they have a part of TikTok called Learn on TikTok, where people are just giving really informative content. I follow people who have given financial or real estate advice, people who have given social advice, people who give advice on dating, just because I like to just know. I like, and even people who have given their just faith stories, even Bible scriptures, like daily, just for 10 seconds on the platform. And it's so many avenues of how you can just provide informative content. The whole dancing thing, look, I tried it for a little while. Everybody ain't got to dance when you get on TikTok. You don't. That's more so for that's for the younger kids.
Yeah. They trying to get me to do it, man, with my kids, man. Like, Dad, you gotta do a dance with me. I'm like, bruh, I don't know, man. That I don't know if I got the patience for it, and I I'll let my daughter edit the youngest one. But man, that's what's the timeline for you speaking of editing, to put a video together let's say when your common videos, one that went viral. What's that timeline like? How long does it take you? Because some people just stop, like me, I'm old school, right? So come into TikTok and I'm like, that's overwhelming for me mentally, trying to get so much information packed in that short of a time span. So what is that timeline for you to go from conceptual to creating that content and editing? What does that look like?
That actually is so interesting you said that. I struggled with that actually at first, with my videos being too long. My videos were like 40 seconds, they were like 50 seconds. And I was like, dang, this is kind of long at first whenever I was talking. But I can actually walk you through my process the other day. So if anybody's watching, if you guys go and watch my last TikTok that I made, it was how to build your wardrobe for teens. And how that idea came about is I heard a sound that was going on that was kind of trending a lot of people. I really liked the sound. So I was at the gym and I was like, how can I merge this video together with an idea with the sound and also like basically showing people. And I was like, well, I can't talk. I'd rather it be more of a movement video. That's what I put in my notes. I put movement. So movement as in I'll be doing something as far as like doing something and not necessarily talking. So I thought about it. I saw some inspiration from a guy who was doing some cool transitions where he was basically taking off his clothes, but it was just when he did this, it went into, he already had on the other outfit, like he was throwing the other outfit out of the way. So I was like, I could do something like that. And on TikTok, it's all about doing things to the beat. It's all about the song. And because you're drawing people in with the music, because TikTok used to be called Musical.ly. So they're very big on music going along with things a lot. So when this idea started to come to my head when I was on the treadmill, I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So I got home and obviously like I got prepped and ready, the first thing I want to do is I laid out if it's an outfit video, I'm going to lay out all my outfits that are going to be in the video. So I'm not scrambling around. So it's all right. I'm styling some outfits. And then because I'm talking about building a wardrobe, how to build a wardrobe, I'm making sure that I'm getting things that are simple and that are easy talking points for me to put in overlay text in the video. So after doing that, I put together the outfits, and so the vision is in my head, and so I shoot the first clip, basically the beginner of basically telling people what it's about, with the song, because I'm imagining the song in my head. So I put my hands up like that. I'm like, basically the title, how to build a wardrobe, and then the first thing is I grab my shirt and I'm throwing it to the side, I do that about 2 times. And then after I do that, I think I started doing that about at 8 o'clock when I got home and showered and everything from the gym, around 8 p.m. And so I started doing that, and I did about probably about 7 or 8 clips, because I had to make sure that they matched up with the same movement that I did from the last one to make sure they're looking the correct way and that it's a smooth transition over when I'm editing. After doing that for about 30, I would say almost about 30 minutes, then I sat down and I went and put them all in an app. One of the apps that I use a lot to edit TikToks is InShot. InShot's a great app for it. So I put them all in there, and I make sure the first thing I do when I'm editing one is I make sure that I start basically minimizing the videos, and then I'll try to basically connect them together with the transition that makes sense. So I'll spend probably because I'm a perfectionist, I try to do it the best I can. I'll probably spend another 45 minutes just doing that. I'll get lost in it because I'm trying to make sure it's perfect. I'll watch it over for about 3 or 4 times and making sure that it looks perfect enough for me to go ahead and do. After doing that part, I will go ahead and throw the music in there. When I throw the music in there, it's all about putting things to the beat and just making the vision come alive or whatever. I had to end up stopping because my fiance came by. And, we chatted for a minute. You know how it is. You got to check in. You got to,
Yeah. Sure.
And I had showed her, and I was like, hey, I got part of this done. And she was like, oh, that's fine. She was like, this is what you finna post? I was like, well, I'm not done. She was like, okay, all right, cool. So that after that time, I think by the time she left, I started working on it again. And I worked on it again for about another 30 minutes, I would say. And that's when I had the complete video done. After I had the complete video done with just the sound, I put it on TikTok. Then it's about posting where purpose comes in to put that overlay text, because people can watch a video, but when there's concepts in the video of what they're reading, it allows them to be able to be on the platform longer to looking at. So now you're entertaining, but you're also having text in there for them to be able to look. So then I put the text in there, have the time of how long it's gonna be in there, and then I post it. And it actually ended up doing really well. I think it's got like over 200,000 views right now.
Nuts. That's amazing. So let me make sure I understand this. Talking to old folks, man. So
sorry, I was thinking
no,
like,
it's good.
A lot.
No, it's good though. It's good. Now I want to repeat it back to you just for those who didn't catch it. So you're in InShot and you're doing your video edits in InShot, and you also add music in InShot as well.
Mm-hmm. What you can do in InShot is you actually can, let's say you're on TikTok and you you can save videos. So let's say you go to the sound is called whatever. So I went to that sound and looked at all the videos. So I saved one of the videos. Once I saved it to my phone and my photos, I went to InShot and I hit extract sound from video in the music section. When you hit extract sound from video, it basically takes the sound from the video, which is a song, obviously, and it puts it right there in the overlay of the video.
Got it. And then from there, you export that out of your phone, out of InShot into your phone library, and then pull it from your phone library up into TikTok. And TikTok is where you add all the text overlays. You
got it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Got it. Okay, I'm learning today. So look, 2020 was crazy for everybody. We'll make sure we got good time. 2020 was crazy for everybody. What are some of the things some pivots that you made, or some positive pivots that you made because of COVID in 2020 when it comes to your brand and your creativity?
So when everybody kind of was like locked down for those 2 months, I was trying to figure, I knew that this was a time where a lot of people, where I was going to have more time myself, because I work in retail. So I wasn't, obviously I wasn't able to go to work. So the best thing is, I said I could go crazy with my content. I could make content about any and everything. I could upload as much as I wanted. That was like pretty much on my schedule every day. And so I was uploading twice on YouTube. I was uploading twice a week on YouTube. I was uploading Instagram content. And obviously I was uploading TikTok content. And one of the biggest things that I thought about, I had called one of my homies, and I was like, right now, people are not feeling great. People are wondering what's going on because it's never happened in the world. People don't necessarily want like a lot of like information right now. They want to be entertained. They want to be made feel good. So for me, I was just like, you know what? I want to make some fire, cinematic, entertaining, and beautiful content. So I was like, what really, and it goes back into looking at what really did well. Well, when I looked at 2019 and I saw like some of my posts that did really well, they were with me and other Black men in suits. So I said, all right, what can I do to make, Black men in suits like look good? So I called up two of my homies, and we put together, I called up my two homies and I called up my other friend. I was like, hey, let's shoot some content together. Let's put on your best suits and let's see what we can do. And I went into that shoot with purpose. We made a TikTok, we made an Instagram picture, and they both went viral. And that because nobody was really posting like that at that time. Yeah. It lowered how many people we were going against, because nobody was making high quality cinematic content at the time. So it gave us a chance to get in front of a lot of people. And that's kind of what the big pivot that got me in front of a lot of people quickly. A lot of people say, they'd be like, bro, did you just start last year? I'm like, no, I've been doing this for about 2 years, but you just saw me last year.
Yeah. Speaking of, dude, that was photos with the three of y'all and that tan khaki, and you guys are different heights. I mean, that shoot, man, it was so impressive to me. And even obviously the video I had to it, it's really profound, and I can appreciate the thought behind it, because we know that it takes some time to really put these ideas together. to coordinate guys, individuals. You got to get your photographer. You got to
we spent an hour on FaceTime figuring out who had what in their closet on what we were gonna wear.
I love that, man. Couple of things. So I know we're getting close up on the hour, so I wanted to ask you a couple of things to have a little bit of fun. And first of all, Trey, this has been a value bomb episode. It's been really awesome. You dropped a lot of jewels, so I want to thank you for that. Before I forget, this style, you're welcome, man. This is about style, right? It's StyleJumper and Jump School. And what would you call your personal style?
That's a good question. I would call it kind of like a upscale leisure, maybe. I think upscale leisure, because I feel like I play in the middle a lot. I feel like a lot of my looks are like my boy said, he said classic. I think I play in the middle between, because I really do have a passion for menswear. I do. Like I worked in menswear for 2 years, whether, being, I was at Indochino, Suit Supply, and, Men's Warehouse. So I really have a passion for menswear, but I also really have a passion for just men's fashion in general, and I think that I like to play in between. And I tell a lot of people there's a difference between menswear and men's fashion. Men's fashion is trendy, and menswear is very classic.
It's so interesting you say that. And when you would say, like, because one of the things I feel is really important is the value of nonverbal communication, and we're able to communicate without saying a word. You do an excellent job of that in your channels and your platforms that you provide to everyone, especially people of color. It's so important that we are excellent nonverbal communicators. In hearing you, I'm going to do this thing called either or, because I have a good idea. You've expressed what your style is, and I want to add my thoughts after hearing these questions answered. So the first thing, TikTok or Instagram?
TikTok.
Beard or no beard?
Beard.
Braid or the twist, or the curly fro like you're wearing right now?
Oh, twist.
All right, snapback or fedora?
Snapback.
All right. Music, mumble rap, the new age stuff, or trap music?
Trap music.
Turtleneck or button up?
Turtleneck.
A denim jacket or a hoodie?
Denim.
Chinos or jeans?
Chinos.
Tie or no tie?
No tie.
Lace up or loafers?
Loafers.
Sneakers or boots?
Boots.
A regular traditional sweater, crew neck, or a cardigan?
Crew neck.
My assessment of you, Trey, you're the new age version of what I call adult street. So when I see what you wear, I see you continue to do, because that's like my thing, adult street. This juxtapose between streetwear classic, but also being able to have fun with it, but always look elegant. That's like one of my main things, and how to juxtapose those two. So I definitely see you as an adult street style person. So I have a final question for you. But before I ask that, where can everyone find you? Let's let everybody know so everyone who's watching this tonight and hearing this later, let's make sure without a doubt we get Trey as many followers and subscribers as possible on every single platform that he offers. So where can we find you, Trey?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Trey Bryant 27, and on YouTube at Trey Bryant, just my name. You can type in my name, Trey Bryant, TreyBryant, and you'll find me. And then I just also want to say, I appreciate you, man, for bringing me on here. This was dope. I actually have not been interviewed like this before, so this is real dope. It's real dope.
That's
man.
Awesome. I appreciate that. I'm happy to have you. It's been very informative and educational, and I think there's a lot of jewels that was dropped, and I'm going to continue to follow you and share. Well, let me see. we got, before I say that, looks like we want to see, Dwayne says, how long until we see some clothes at Trey Bryant line?
You gotta wait a while on that. You gotta wait a while on that. It's gonna be a while before we get to clothes. You know, I gotta feed the streets in other ways, and I rather feed the streets with value and information first. So you'll get tangible things, like things you can read before you can get things you can wear, if you know what I mean.
Love that. Before I ask my last question, actually, you mentioned you've worked in retail, and you work in retail currently, and you mentioned Men's Warehouse, Indochino, and Suit Supply. Out of the three, which place did you learn the most and why?
I learned the most at Suit Supply, because Suit Supply taught me more about like the fit of clothes, and it taught me more about like the European style of clothes as well, and how things are just classic, and when it comes to the fit. And the biggest thing that simple is better than too much.
Love that. So my final question to you, if you could spend 24 hours with any creative, designer, artist, dead or alive, 24 hours, who would it be and why?
Any creator, dead or alive. Ooh. Man, at first I'm probably gonna say dang. I probably would say Jose Zuniga.
Why Jose?
Because he really knows the business side of creating content and really what it takes, and he's a hard worker. So I feel like I would just really ask him just a bunch of questions about when it comes to business, because he's a man that with a family too, and I think that that's really important to know how to separate family and business and your love and your passion.
So if Jose was listening right now, what's your question to him? Make sure we get it to him.
Hey Jose, I want to know, man, how you build a business with a family and really inspire people doing it.
Love it. I'll make sure you get this. I promise you. I'll make sure. So everyone, here you have it. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have this conversation, this dynamic and enriching conversation with the good brother, Mr. Trey Bryant, from the A by way of Augusta, the A times 2, Thank you so much for your perspective and your point of view, Trey. It's been a wonderful night. Any parting words for those who are creatives, who want to be as an influencer or content creator? Any last words that you'd like to share? And we'll get out of here, man.
Hey, last words I'll share. If you guys want to be a content creator, get in the game. Just do your research, post. You actually have to get in the game and learn about it. Learn what you like, what you don't like about it. If you do truly love it, put your all behind it, post with purpose, and you'll be good to go. Just believe in yourself.
That's what's up. Well, folks, there you have it. Again, tonight we've had Mr. Trey Bryant. Thank you so much for sitting here and listening to a dynamic conversation with two Black men who really love style and fashion, but also can appreciate each other's point of view. We'll see you next here at Jump School. Peace, man.
Peace.
I hope you enjoyed today's amazing interview. Today's episode was brought to you by my new book, Why Style Matters, The Mindset of Dressing Well and How It Impacts Your Life. To get your autographed copy, click the link in the description.